Welcome to Road to Redemption, a show sharing powerful life testimonies, giving hope to those on their own road to redemption.
Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome into Road to Redemption. Again, we love hearing stories here at Destiny and at Destiny Radio, and that's exactly what we get to do here on this show. It's a show and podcast where we get to hear these and share these powerful life testimonies that give hope to people. So maybe that's you. Maybe you've been encouraged by a story on one of these Mondays at 2 p.m. every Monday. So, but I have an awesome married couple here and family and friends, really. The Sanders family, Stephen and Alison Sanders. How are y'all today?
Hey, Dave.
Good, man.
Yeah. Thank you for being here. They're an awesome family, and I can't wait to tell you guys about them. But how long have I known you guys? 6 years, maybe, something like that?
6, 7, yeah.
And your 4 kids. And so it's just so everyone knows, I've been giving your kids piano lessons. And no,
And you're
listeners,
amazing.
Yes.
I don't give piano lessons. And so before everyone starts emailing me, it's not something I do. Yeah. I just, I love your family and I love your kids and feel called to do it. And so was happy to do it. And yeah, we've... They knew nothing when I started, and now it's pretty cool just seeing them like read music and all that.
You have quite the stories, I'm sure. You could tell of our children.
Oh, it's awesome, especially your daughter. She's hilarious. And so why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself, Stephen? You start. You're a doctor.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Tell us about yourself.
So we met our freshman year of college. We both grew up in Alabama, went to the University of Alabama, and started dating our freshman year of college. And then
We met in calculus class.
yes.
Oh,
And
nice.
who was the smart one? Tell the truth. I'm kidding.
And dated all through 4 years of college. And then we decided that we would get married a couple days before I started medical school.
Wow.
We thought, hey,
That's brilliant.
that'd be a great time.
Yeah.
No stress situation.
Yeah.
And the journey started there.
Yeah. Sounds like a journey.
20 years in a few weeks.
Wow.
20 years.
Congrats.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
So then, okay, so you're starting college, newlyweds, medical school. What school is this in?
So went to UAB as we were living in Birmingham, and did medical school, and then we went to residency. And we're just during this time, like we're just living life. Allison's
Sure.
working.
Yeah.
We're starting a family. Like things are good.
Mm-hmm.
It's busy, like a lot of people get.
I have a close friend that he's a doctor that works out of the Mayo Clinic, and I mean, I feel like his college was like, not only was like a full-time job, but like he didn't really have a life other than studying and school. Like, what is that like as a newlywed? Like,
Challenging.
Okay. It's all kind of a blur now. I mean, I think we did the best we could, and I kept myself busy. I started graduate school and just tried to stay busy myself because it was very time intensive for him. So we just figured it out, you know, not perfectly, but
Sure.
figured it out. And then residency. And then you kind of get to the season where you get to jump out and launch this career for him. And we moved back to Dothan, Alabama, for him to launch his practice. And we had a newborn at the time and a 3-year-old, and that's kind of where life just kind of shifted for us.
Took a turn.
I want to come back to that, but before we do, Alison, so you were in school together. What were you studying? What was your focus?
So I was elementary education in undergrad, and so I started teaching in Birmingham.
Oh, wow.
And then went to graduate school for administration, all while launching this rental company here on 30A. So I really was extremely busy as well, and I think that helped us to just get through those years.
Sure.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So okay. So you're married, newly married, college, and so you graduate. How long did it take you to graduate? 7 years, something crazy like that.
A long
Well, you
time.
have residency too.
Yeah.
Residency.
And we were having babies. Like
A
we
lot
had
of delayed gratification.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
So you had 2 boys,
Yes.
but you basically were starting your practice while this was happening. Gosh, it's like just continuing to be crazy and chaotic, I'm sure.
Yes.
We actually moved to Dothan as soon as the doctor cleared me to. I just had Harrison. As soon as the doctor cleared me to go, we headed to Dothan.
was
So,
on the move.
so I truly had a newborn. The week we moved.
Wow. And then what was something that you said there was like a shift in your life. What do you mean by that?
I think that we were at a place where we both came to Christ at a young age, and by all accounts, were doing the right things. We were checking the right check marks, but we got invited to a small group. And how many stories start with small group, right?
All the best ones.
But we were invited to a small group.
A summertime small group.
Okay.
Yes. So shout out to summer small group.
Just meeting for several weeks over the summer, and we didn't think anything about it.
Yeah.
It was Francis Chan, Crazy Love.
Love it.
Fabulous study. And we really were just going to make friends and meet people in this new town that we were in. And as we dove into that study, it was just like an awakening from the Lord of our complacency in our life. And there's a chapter in that book on lukewarm Christians. And we know in Revelation what Jesus says of lukewarm Christianity. And it was just, I think we were on a path of a slippery slope somewhat of materialism and following the world and just chasing after the wrong things. And praise God, by his grace, he just awakened us to a different path.
Wow.
Through that small group.
And he used this study, Francis Chan, he used this small group to kind of open your eyes to these things.
It was a turning point. And it wasn't like, some people have experiences and it's like an immediate turning point. Like a tragic death or loss of something or, just some crazy type story. But for us, it started this amazing journey.
Okay.
And I like to say that small group really wrecked our lives. And wrecked
you
our
moved
lives.
to Kenya.
Right. I mean, seriously, like we began to think, though, everything I had thought about Christianity was like culturally based. Like it was almost like a works-based type of Christianity.
Sure.
And for the first time during that summer small group, I saw the beauty of Jesus. I saw the holiness of Jesus. I saw his grace and his mercy. And it was like I was starting to look at things with a different lens. And it was powerful.
So we would be up at night, just the two of us, late at night. Like, what are we doing? Like, what's the goal here? What are we doing? And we just decided to just begin to pray and just say, yes, Lord. What do you want? Whatever you want for us, yes.
Sure.
Like, we're in, And when you begin to pray, Lord, break my heart for what breaks yours. Let me tell you what's going to happen.
Yeah.
He's going to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to do it. And so he just began to really soften our hearts to just caring for the ones that the world often forgets. And out of that just came this deep desire to dive in more with orphan care and what our family's role was going to be in that. And so out of that took us down this journey of figuring out, like, God, do you want us to foster? Do you want us to adopt? Do you want us to minister to women in crisis, pregnancies? What does it look like? And funny story, all while this is happening, a group of friends decided to run the Seaside Half Marathon, to register to run the Seaside Half Marathon. We lived in Alabama, so it was going to be like a fun weekend. And I was all in for a fun weekend.
But there was no training involved. Like, you didn't train for the marathon. You just showed up and
you just got it.
Nate,
you just get there and go.
Running.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Like, I want something.
You don't love it in Florida where it's like ridiculously humid and 100 degrees?
So they all trained and they were like all in. And I stopped at, 2 miles. That was the most I had trained.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to miss the weekend of fun, and I wasn't going to. I'm going to commit. You know. Long story short, I decided to do it, and about mile 2 of the race, all my friends had like smoked me. They were killing it, and I knew I was going to die. It was bad. But what came of that is, in my life of young children and just craziness of life, I very seldom have quiet, and I am aware that I need more quiet in my life, and I had from mile 2 to 13.1 to just be with Jesus, and have quiet. And
it's cool.
As crazy as it sounds, and it wasn't like an audible voice, but the Lord just spoke to me greater than he ever has spoken ever in my life. And I just kept hearing this, like, what are you waiting on? Like, what are y'all waiting on? And
did you know what that meant?
I totally knew what it meant.
You did know
I
what it
knew
meant, yeah.
that he was calling us to adopt. I knew it was a special needs adoption. I knew all those things.
Mm-hmm.
But we had been given so many, we knew the Lord was calling us in that direction, but we had so many good excuses of why the time wasn't right, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
And we were still wrestling with like, what did those next steps look like? I mean, at some point, I think we thought, are we going to like serve in Southeast Asia?
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
we really didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay, but God had already begun to like target Asia.
I think he was planting seeds. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like he only does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as I just researched more, the number of orphans in the world at that time, the largest number was in that pocket. And maybe that's why I was drawn to it. I'm not sure.
Wow.
For whatever reason, that's where we felt he was leading us. So I got to like Grayton Beach, heading back to Seaside. I don't know, 11, I don't know, whatever mile number that is. And I see this tall blonde guy running in opposite of everybody else, like coming towards me. It was Stephen. He'll tell you he thought I was dead. He probably
Questionable.
he thought I had passed out or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But obviously,
Good thing you're a doctor. You
Yeah.
know
There
what to
you
do.
go.
I mean, were you concerned? Tell the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
a little concerned.
All my friends were like long
just
gone.
proud of you,
They
Alison.
had like a meal and
Right.
partied, whatever.
Yeah, they're home.
They were in celebrating their success, and I was still running, or walking, whatever it was
Mm-hmm.
at that point. Anyway, he got there, and I mean, I just looked at him and just lost a hot mess
Mm-hmm.
of tears, and said, "What are we waiting on?" And so
Right there in the middle of the
right
race.
there.
Yep.
He's like, "What are you
Right there.
talking about? Let's just finish. Come on, you can do it." He had
Yeah.
no clue. And so we finished, and I lived to tell about it. And then the whole way home, back to Alabama, we talked about it. And then that next morning, that was on a Sunday, that next morning, we called Lifeline Children's Services in Birmingham, an amazing ministry, and said, "Here we go. Let's do this." And there you go.
Wow.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but this is where it gets interesting because
Yes.
it's not, because I know firsthand adopting is not an easy
Correct.
path, and international adopting is even crazier, I've been told.
Yes.
What is it like adopting from an Asian country? Were they Chinese?
There's just so much paperwork and
Yeah.
appointments and all those things that you all.
Just lots of hoops to jump through
Okay. Yes.
continuously.
But we were all in to do that, and this was kind of before Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
and so I started this like Blogspot was.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I started.
You'd
this,
have to go find people's blogs.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
So I started this blog called Mixing Up the Blonde. Because at the time we were 4 blondes,
Right.
and we were mixing up the blonde. We were going to adopt from China.
Right.
So clearly that was going to
Likely
the
not gonna
family
be blonde.
portrait
Yeah.
was
And we were
going
telling our 2 boys, like, hey, your sister's probably going to look different than
Yeah.
and how beautiful it was. We
Sure.
were like celebrating the beauty of what our family portrait was going to look like. And it was mixing up the blonde. And as you know, because you know our family now, that's what happened was immeasurably more than our minds could
Yeah.
wrap around.
Sure.
Didn't even know this was possible, right? So we got a call from our social worker who had a file that she wanted us to see. And we had already committed this was going to be a child with special needs, but we didn't know the specifics of what that was going to look like. And Stephen, being in medicine, he had kind of completed the paperwork of where he felt that we could, the special needs that our family in its current
Which
season.
special needs could we take care of?
Sure. Yeah. Yep.
So anyway, she said, I'm going to send you a photo, and I'm going to send you this file to review, and I just want you to just read over it, pray about it. It's probably not at all what you're expecting. So I opened this email, and there's this photo of this beautiful, white-haired, white-skinned little girl. And I was like, what in the world? It just like blew my mind. I didn't even know. I was like, well, she's not Asian. Immediately,
Right. Right.
But so our daughter has albinism. Albino is the slang word you often hear. She doesn't have pigment in her hair, skin, or eyes. And so we were not just adopting from China. We were growing our family, and we weren't mixing up the blonde. We were,
We were
you know,
just-
You were
We're
adding another
we
blonde.
were adding another blonde from
Exactly.
China.
Unbelievable.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
She's like the most blonde of us all now,
Sure.
you know.
Yeah.
So we just immediately, upon reviewing that file, Stephen's not really he doesn't tear up or get emotional really at all. And there were like tears in his eyes when he looked at her photo. We just knew, okay, this is it. Like, this is her. This is she's going to be a Sanders.
Sure.
And in China, people with albinism are totally shunned. Like,
just culturally misunderstood.
Right.
And so we didn't know what that was going to look like. But long story short, Stephen and I then 18 or so months later traveled across the globe and brought her home. And it's
I want to come back to that real quick. Did you guys specifically, I want to come back to what that was like,
Sure.
Going over there, but did y'all specifically feel like a special needs child was the route you wanted to go, or were you just like, we're open to it, or was that something you requested, or or were you not really thinking that and it kind of just landed in your lap?
Well, we knew that the need was great for children with special needs, especially in other parts of the world. Often children with special needs are abandoned because of their special needs. So many, if not most or all, orphanages are filled with children in that region who have special needs, minor to major, significant needs to minor needs. So we knew that was going to be a part of the story. It was a special needs adoption, but minus that she has a vision impairment, her needs were more, the challenges we faced were more just the wounds of abandonment and institutionalized care than her vision. We can, how crazy is it that we live at the beach, and our children with albinism, they do just fine.
They're fine. Yeah, exactly.
Apply that sunscreen like crazy, and we wear the sun hats, and we know when to be out in the sun and when not to be, and all is well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And other than just the visual, and because I know working with her, even with piano, we just figure out new ways. You don't just put sheet music in front of her and go, all right, sight read this, go play. And she's like, I can't see any of that. So we'd have to get an iPad and zoom in and finding new ways. And so she'll do that the rest of her life. She'll just find ways and be innovative and creative and probably make her sharper and smarter and better.
And the advancements in technology are only helping the visually impaired.
It's awesome.
And I mean, she is something else.
Sure.
And watching her soar has been such a gift from God,
Your youngest son, too, and I don't want, spoiler alert, I don't want to get there. Yeah. So you're traveling, it's China.
China.
Okay,
Yes.
so you travel to China to pick up your daughter. Give us, what is that like?
Yes. Well, we left we had two boys
How
at the time.
old was she at the time?
She was 2.5.
Okay.
And we had a three-year-old, and I hope I'm getting this right, and a kindergartner, because it was kindergarten graduation the day we left. We left them with grandparents, which, looking back on it, there was just such peace about it all. The Lord's hand was just all over it, and like Philippians 4 peace. It was peace that passes all understanding.
Awesome.
We left two children, traveled across the globe to meet this child we had never met, had no idea of anything about her except this small file and a photo, yet we knew this is what we're supposed to do, And it's nothing on us. It's all God.
It's a supernatural piece. It's that supernatural security. And you can't explain. I mean, you can't explain it.
You can't explain it, yes. But the days that followed, I mean, not to sugarcoat, the days that followed were really hard. The months that followed were really hard. And we're still on that journey. And, children from hard places, when your brain develops amidst trauma and, life experiences that no one should ever have to face, then the struggles are going to be present. And so
they call them scars, like trauma scars, and they kind of stick with you. They can they can stick with you. But
how God has just worked in our lives through that journey. I mean, I remember for like the first few months, she really wouldn't sleep unless she was physically laying on top of me, and she would have a tight grip on my hair. And she would only go to sleep if she was like tight, and being held. And if I tried to roll her over, she would wake up. So it was like a lot of sleepless nights. And so one night I got up and I was rocking her, and we had a really hard few days, and I was just praying out loud at the time, like, God, help her understand, like, I'm her mother, and we're her family, and we're not going anywhere. We are going to be it for life. Lord, help her see that. Show me what to do to help her get this, And it was like he just spoke of like, Alison, how many times am I right here and I'm all you need?
Wow.
And how many times do you just turn and search for it with worldly things when like I'm right here?
It's awesome.
Just like you are with her as, earthly parents. So many times like that, the Lord used that journey to really speak to us and
it's a great
sharpen
picture.
us. Yeah, it really is.
Because adoption is the picture of
Yes.
the gospel. It
Yes.
really is.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You're exactly right. We've all been adopted,
Right.
and
His family.
into Lord, and exactly, into the family of God, and the neat thing too is that when she was adopted, not only was she adopted, but she was given your name, and all that you have would be entrusted to her one day, and it's like that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
She didn't really necessarily do anything to earn these things, deserve these things, but you went out and sought her out, brought her home, and it's like you are now one of us. Like, wow.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool to think about, and then we can share in that with the Lord. And so how did
it's cool that he's in the details.
Yeah.
How beautiful that God had this like family of blondes in the South for this white-haired beauty in China. You know, how crazy is that? And how amazing is that?
Sure.
Of how God's in all the details.
So I know your family, so I know you adopted again.
We did.
Okay, so then obviously this must have been, it's also an Asian child, so it had to have been just a dark-skinned, dark-haired child at this point, right?
It was completely opposite, actually.
Oh, okay.
So we were connected. We were connected at this point in the albinism community through like a Facebook group or something, and they had a program. It was called Bridge of Hope that would bring over older orphan children to America and really give them this amazing few weeks experience of what they called a vacation. But really your job was just love them well, advocate for them, help them find a family. So in this group of children, of older special needs children coming to the United States was a little boy with albinism. And so this albinism group was advocating to find a host family, a family who would just host him in their home. And your job was really just to love him, give him a safe place, and expose him to as many people as you could that might be interested in adoption.
Cool.
So I found it and brought it to Stephen, and he's really like, he was so happy, wouldn't you say? Like with 3 kids, he was fine. You know,
Life was good.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we were open.
We were open to it, but it wasn't anything in our radar at all. And so we explored. We signed up to be the host family for this kid who needed somewhere to stay for a few weeks while this program just gave him a great vacation and experience. So we were his host family. His name was Pon Pon. That was his name then. So Pon Pon came, and he was 7 and didn't speak, obviously, any English. There was a huge...
Straight Mandarin.
Yeah,
only.
Right.
huge language barrier. We were not fluent at all. And so our oldest and I flew to D.C., which is where they flew into, picked him up, brought him home. And our goal, I mean, we told the kids, like, we're just going to just love this kid so well. What he wants to eat, we're going to eat. What he wants to do, we're going to do. We're just going to just give him
the best life,
the few weeks, that everything that we can do. So that's what we did. I mean, we had we moved our sofa. We had dance parties in the living room. We got water slide every day. We were doing it, right? And
your other kids are like, he needs to stay.
Yes.
He needs to stay.
Yes.
That's actually exactly what they said. So we were sitting at dinner, and we had a table of 6, and so Samuel, Pon Pon at the time, like, was the 6th person at the table, and one of the children said, he completes our table. Like,
Wow.
The table's full now.
Wow.
And so the other child then said, why are we trying to like find him a family? Why can't he just be like, it was so like, duh,
cool.
Mom, why can't he just be in our family?
Yeah.
And we both didn't respond at all. And then
It was the Holy Spirit working.
Yeah,
in our lives.
yeah, sure. And it's cool that he spoke through your children.
Through our
I mean,
children.
it's almost like their idea.
Yeah.
through our children.
Wow.
But it was so, the innocence of, they just, this is easy, Mom and Dad. Like, he needs to be a Sanders. So the next day, Stephen came home from lunch, and he just looked at me and he's like, you can stop sharing his story and trying to help him find a family. I think
Amazing.
Stephen said, I think he'll cry. Look at those tears. He said he's found his family.
Wow.
And so we called the program and we were like, what do we have to do? We want to start whatever process needed. We want him to be a part of our family. And he was supposed to go to a second family for the second portion of his time. And we begged them to let him just stay with us for the whole vacation. They did. And then
some rough days.
The hardest thing I've ever experienced in my life was when we knew he was our son, and we were going to do everything we possibly could to bring him home to our family, but you had no choice but to send him back to this world where all these children had to go back to the orphanage. There was absolutely no way otherwise. And so
he doesn't understand that.
Doesn't understand. There's still a language barrier, and we wanted to make it as easy as possible on him, but it felt like it was just the saddest thing I've ever experienced.
It felt like a death.
Yeah, sure.
It really did. And so we had flew out to Colorado for the summer, and we were sitting in the Denver airport, and we said goodbye to him.
Yeah.
And we put him on a plane.
Yeah.
And
not knowing, are they going to approve us to
Right.
adopt him? Like, will we ever see this child again? All those things. And I'd like to tell you that I was like strong and steadfast in those moments, but I was a hot mess. And Stephen was the strength of our family. And he actually sat there with him and watched him walk off. I was like in fetal position in the bathroom, like physically sick over it. And Stephen saw him off, and it was awful, but we can look back on it and see it was pain with purpose.
Sure.
There was purpose in all of this, and we did everything we could to, as quickly as possible. Stephen paid every expedited fee that you could pay to get the paperwork there
let's get this
faster.
thing going.
But it doesn't happen overnight. So
Right.
we knew it was going to be months. The only way we could communicate with him is if we sent gifts, so food. So they had this package where you could send on their birthday, you could send a birthday cake. Nate, I'm embarrassed to tell you how many birthday cakes I sent over there. And like every week he was having a birthday. I know he was so confused, but that we always would get a photo back when you send a gift. How they show you that they've given the gift is it's a photo with yours. So that's how we kind of kept up.
And now he's obsessed with cake.
Yes, and
exactly.
all things.
That's right.
And then 6 months later.
Okay, so because we're running out of time, but I know listeners are going to be like, wait a second. How did you get him back? So he's over there.
Yeah, we did all the paperwork, and then it took 6 months. And then
wow, that's a long time.
6 months.
6 months later, we took the whole family over to China.
I bet that was a long 6 months.
It was brutal.
It was a brutal 6 months, but we felt the grace and the peace of God.
It's awesome.
We really did.
It's awesome, man.
We knew he was our son.
So your whole family got to go this time.
Yes,
So
it
we
was
took
amazing.
the whole family.
So cool.
And it was...
And Allie's like, hold up.
Yeah.
Your daughter, she's like, I don't want to go back here.
Right.
Yeah. But you know what? It was interesting because when she was so young, and we know that often that's culturally misunderstood. And I don't know if people just didn't realize that she was Asian, or people were like begging to take pictures with us. It's just
For sure.
culturally like we all look very different than people there.
Yep.
And that's a cultural thing that they do, is take pictures. So all these precious Asians were like snapping pictures with her and our family, which was really cool.
Y'all celebrities over there.
But it was so cool too, in that moment when he stepped off that elevator. We were in a hotel when we got to reunite with him. And when he stepped off that elevator and like ran into our arms, I don't think I've ever seen like someone's life just like that. His life is completely different
Awesome.
in the most beautiful way.
Wow.
He will never ever go to bed at night not knowing that he's loved. He will hear of Jesus every day.
Yeah.
He will have as much food as he needs. He will have everything. His life changed in that moment, all by the grace of God.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And it's parallel to what God does for us.
Yes. Yes.
When he adopts us and, he throws the party.
Yes.
When I adopted my son, you can't legally name him for like a certain amount of time, because we did it here through the state, and you have to give some due diligence period for their parents. And so there's paperwork. We just mentioned that. And so there's a lot of signatures. And so his name was like baby boy for like the first 6 months. So he genuinely did not even have a name legally.
Yeah.
Right.
We couldn't do surgery on him, all those things that we couldn't do. And I just thought it was so interesting that you said that parallel to our relationship with the family of God is that when we adopted him, we were able to name him. And I named him, his last name is now Kelly. It's my last name, obviously. And so it was just a cool picture that like, no, I'm giving you a new name. Like you're literally a new creation. And so what you used to be, that's no longer. And I don't know. I love that picture too of your daughter just laying there holding on and just, don't leave me. Don't leave me.
Right.
And you were like, I'll never leave you.
Right.
That's all God is.
I just wanted her to understand. And he is so like that.
It's because we don't understand.
Right.
It's because everything in life leaves us.
Right.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Whether they want to or not, it's just the nature of this world that we live in a fallen, broken world. Everything will hurt us and leave us, except for God.
Right.
He never will leave us or forsake us, and I love that, and I'm so thankful that y'all shared that story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any like funny stories with them being here and.
I don't know that we could tell them.
Okay.
Yeah. For another day.
I heard.
You probably have some that you could tell, but you can keep those to yourself.
Yeah. I had a friend that adopted from Russia, and he's a young child, and when he got to the grocery stores here, basically went in like a Publix, and he's like, I've never seen anything like this.
Wow.
And walked up to a box of instant mashed potatoes, and opened it up and put his hand in, ready to eat it because it's mashed potatoes in a box. Like, why not?
Yeah.
So. Very different cultures.
That's right.
Different, yes. Yes.
Well, I just want to encourage listeners out there that are just, seeking their own path in life. Maybe they feel like God has just been whispering some things to them. It doesn't have to be adoption. Maybe it is. I don't know. Reach out to us. We have some amazing resources that we can help you with, and I'll even connect you with the Sanders too if you'd like that. But just that if there's something that you feel like the Lord is leading you into it, slow down and listen, and I feel like God will begin to lay that out for you. The Bible says that that a man would plan his path, but the Lord directs his steps. And so it's like you were like, okay, cool, adoption, but it was not at all what you thought it was going to be,
Right.
and it never is. And so the other thing I'll mention is just go on a marathon and just start running, and God will tell you all of your dreams if you just get on.
My knee is never the same. I can't recommend that ever.
Yeah, but seriously, guys, get in your Bible, get in the Word, allow the Holy Spirit to begin to speak to you. Find a local church, and then I can't say it enough. Get in a small group.
Join a summer small group.
Get in a
right.
summer
It's a
small
great
group.
time.
Sign up. Reach out to us at contact@destinyradio.live. We'd love to hear from you, Sanders family. Love you guys. I appreciate y'all coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Awesome. God bless y'all.
You've been listening to Road to Redemption, sharing powerful life testimonies, giving hope to those on their own road to redemption. If you have any comments or questions, we would love to connect with you. You can reach out to us at destinyradio.live. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week on Road to Redemption.